I'd like to thank you guys for flying full send Ben and Jen Airways. This is your captain speaking. We're going to be flying at an altitude of about 10,500 with moderate to severe turbulence. It's going to get wild and crazy, but we know you guys can handle it. Drinks will be served as soon as we reach our altitude of 10,500. So if everyone could have a great time, buckle up and enjoy the ride.
Pirate's life for me.
It's a pilot's life for me, arg.
Oh, man. Here.
Alright, rotate.
Green
Nice,
Tower,
Jen A.
2A902 Romeo at 9,000 descending.
Just like that, and we're off.
Romeo, Reno Tower, enter left downwind, runway 25.
Nice, Jenny.
Left downwind, runway 25.
Alright,
902
positive
Romeo.
rate of climb, no more useful runway, gear up. Alright, I got a light. Ben, is your gear up?
Gear is up.
Cool.
3, 2, 1.
What's up, guys? Full Send Jen here.
Full send Ben here.
Welcome to the In-Plane Podcast, intro podcast.
Yeah, welcome to the world's best in-plane podcast. Also,
Yeah.
the world's only in-plane podcast.
Please let us know if there's another In-Plane podcast.
Yeah, let us know. We just can't find one.
I don't think there is.
All right, so Jen and I, we're going to share with you guys, what we're doing here, what the in-plane podcast is, who we are, why we wanted to start an in-plane aviation-fueled adventure podcast, and what it's all going to be about and why we're doing it.
Yeah. It's going to be awesome. I feel like what we're doing here is a little different. It's not traditional, and it's never been done before. And usually when I tell people what we're doing, people are super confused. So we just want to let you guys know what's up.
Yeah, this is a very untraditional podcast. So traditionally, podcasts are recorded in secluded locations with really good audio. We are recording in an H1N handy recorder and cleaning it up after the fact in Audition, in Premiere. And yeah, making the audio as clean as we can for you guys. And, honestly, the goal with this is to be untraditional and be different, inspire that vacay mode mindset and adventurous mindset while before and after while we're podcasting.
Yes. Sorry, I was tapping your knee. Basically, like plain and simple, our podcast, we're going to always have a different guest, sometimes the same guest, right next to me in this seat or behind us. And then Ben will be in the back. Every time I'll be flying. And every time we're going to be going on a full send adventure. Depends on whoever our guest is. We ask them what lights them up, what they like to do, and we plan a full adventure day, sometimes multiple days. And basically, in the plane on the way there, that's when our podcast is going to happen. Sometimes on the way there, sometimes back, sometimes both. And we just want to talk about the road to happiness, life, rituals, hacks, hardships.
Yeah, open people up. When you're in the vacation mode mindset, you're just more present with yourself. You're excited. You're on an adventure. You're ready to go on an adventure, and we're just hoping to ignite those conversations that you have when you're on a road trip with your best friend and going somewhere you maybe wanted to go for a long time, surf trip, mountain bike trip, or for anybody else, just in general, that vacation mode mindset. I think we all know what that feels like, and that's the goal.
Yeah. So Ben will be in the back helping. So I'll be flying the pilot, and Ben will be in the back doing the production, working on the cameras, doing the photography, and just
making
helping
sure the audio's good, and co-hosting, because
bring it all together.
When air traffic comes in and when there's people talking on the radio, Jen's got to fly.
Yeah.
And right now we're on autopilot.
Yes, we are on
So,
autopilot.
those are some things to expect during the podcast.
Yes.
Is I will have to jump in and co-host, and that's basically it.
And that's a good point, Ben, really quick. Just a disclaimer. When I am interviewing people, I'm also flying, and my number one priority is flying and being safe and making sure everyone in this plane is safe. So at any point, if I'm looking at the window, if I'm looking at my phone, if I'm looking at my lap, I'm looking for traffic, I'm on my phone looking at maps, looking at ForeFlight. If I'm listening sometimes to like air traffic control, that's what I'm doing. If I'm looking down, I'm looking at engine gauges. I'm always engaged, but I just want you guys to know, like, if that's happening, that's
what's going
happening.
on.
And if it doesn't look like I'm flying, it's because autopilot's on, but I'm still monitoring everything and making sure everything's right. Another disclaimer is that, I guess we kind of already said it, but that we're doing things where we're at the will of Mother Nature and weather. So even if we are supposed to go on adventures, sometimes we aren't able to. So sometimes you guys will just get the podcast. Also, if we don't come out with videos regularly, it's because
Weather pending.
or maintenance for planes, because that all happens.
Weather permitting at all times.
And then the other disclaimer probably is that Ben and I are here as just real, authentic people trying to grow. I'm not an expert in life. I'm not a doctor. I'm not a therapist. We're just here, real and authentic, and we just want to try and share other people's stories. So just so you guys know that we don't claim to know everything.
We're just trying to nurture mentorship from the people around us, because I just love those conversations that aren't just like, how are you? What's going on with work? Like, not necessarily small talk, but like digging deep, because you can nurture growth within your friend group and people around you, heal yourself, heal the world, and share authentically where you're at in life. And if we can spark that in people with that adventure mindset to really share what's going on in their life and find those moments where they're just, on fire and ready to share something deep, I think there's a lot to be said for that.
Yeah, I do too. Absolutely.
And on that note, I think we can kind of talk about, who we are. And I think I'll start with Jen, because basically she's a master multitasker. I would not have signed up to help her produce, shoot, and edit this in-plane podcast if I didn't believe in her skills as a pilot, as a person, and as a professional human being. She takes flying seriously, fun seriously, and her friendship seriously. And that's definitely why I'm here. And
seriously?
She's the master multitasker. It's ridiculous. She has radio. We can't hear it. She has radio going on at all times. She's our pilot. And she, in my opinion, is just the perfect podcast host to allow people to be comfortable in this seat and share their authentic selves and ignite that fun vacation adventure mindset. That's why her name's Full Send Jen. And she does all the sports, all the things. She can keep up with anyone.
Some people call me Half Send Jen.
Sometimes she's Half Send Jen, but super rarely. And so I mean, there's a lot to Jen. That's not her full bio or intro, but she's a certified flight instructor. And actually, maybe it'll be easier. Why don't you tell people what that means? So you're a certified flight instructor. You spend 20 to 40 hours a week training future pilots.
Yeah.
Why don't you tell the internet what's up with that?
First, before I get into me, I want to explain. I want to say who you are, Ben.
Sure.
Just so people know. Ben is actually become one of my best friends through this process. But Ben and I have always kind of known each other through the grapevine. We were both in Truckee at bike night.
Shout out Fred.
About Fred Stam, rock. And we were both at a bar, and we ran into each other, and I kind of told Ben I was thinking about doing something in the plane, doing some video. I wasn't really sure what it was. And Ben's like, oh my God, that's epic. I love that. I align with that. And that's
a genius idea.
Basically where it came to fruition, right?
Yeah, we were having so much fun. Fred actually set up a band. Shout out Brandon Beck's brother. They set up in this garage across from a bar in downtown Truckee. And it was so cool. We just took over the whole downtown Truckee with bikes. I don't know how many people, 200, 300 people or something. It was a lot of people. And it was just epic. It was a super good night. And Jen and I just kind of bumped into each other at the bar at the right time. Like, what are you up to, Ben? Oh, I just got back from Alaska with Nat Geo. Oh, cool. I have this idea. I kind of want to do like a podcast in the plane. And just like sparks went off for both of us. We ended up hanging out for probably like 2 hours or something.
Yeah.
And just going off in all the directions about it. And here we are now.
Yeah, and a lot of trial, a lot of error, a lot of phone calls, a lot of texts, some lawyers, some making LLCs,
Oh, Jen crushed it.
But we made it here, and it's about a year later, so like this is super cool for us.
Yeah.
Anyways, that's how Ben and I, came to fruition here. But Ben is, and I'm gonna ask him more questions too, so you guys can know more about his roots. But Ben Arnst is just quite possibly the most lovely human I've ever met. He is a videographer, photographer, producer. He did a lot of stuff with Squaw, the Palisades.
Squaw Valley Alpine Meadows.
Yep. Which is epic. He's done a ton of things with like big athletes, extreme athletes. And he worked with Nat Geo, filming Life Below Zero. And he was part of the crew who won an Emmy, which is super epic.
Shout out Danny Day, Brad Carper.
Danny Day, thank you.
Michael
yes.
Cheeseman.
So anyways, that's a little bit about Ben. I think a lot of our ideologies align. I also think we're different in a lot of ways, which I think is really good. Ben loves to be outdoors and camp, and we both like to, mountain bike ski. So we kind of, align there.
We do a little bit of everything.
Yeah.
We enjoy every outdoor sport.
We're not really good at one thing, but we kind of do everything just a little bit.
We can keep up. We're not professional athletes, but we can keep up.
Yeah. So anyways, that's Ben. Ben,
yeah, it was great.
we'll get more into who Ben is too, because we're gonna ask each other questions. So that was just like a quick synopsis, so you know Ben. Love Ben. He's awesome.
Yeah, we nailed it. And so next is the why. So like why we're doing this, Why are we creating an aviation adventure fueled podcast for the internet, for you guys? Dan, you want to start this off?
We are starting this aviation podcast because as a flight instructor, and I'll go a little bit more into why I do that after, but I'm constantly in the plane with people, and I was inspired from all the different people who've been in my cockpit. I've had kids who are 3. I've had someone who's 99. I just was inspired by all these different people, and just kind of how different their outlook on life changed, like the higher we got. And I think it was like a little bit maybe fear, a little bit excitement.
A little less oxygen.
A little less hypoxia.
Shout out Wim Hof.
Yeah. But just being above the earth, I think people just like really let loose and like really talk to you. And I think it's so interesting hearing about different people and different aspects of their life. And I was like, this is so cool. We have such wonderful people here. I wish other people could hear this.
Yeah, I mean, that's exactly what you shared in the bar, Jen. You were just like, honestly, Ben, I wish I could record and share the conversations that I have with people on my plane. Like, Jen's up here sharing her gift of flight and just like her overall outlook on life at all times, because it's hard to operate from your heart and be positive at all times. Like, that is not a easy thing.
Right.
And Jen, you're just like a conduit of good energy, and that's truly hard to find.
Thanks, Ben.
And ultimately, like that's why I signed up. And the why is just like, I really think Jen has the skill set to ultimately inspire guests to be authentic, like who they really are, and share, like whether it be their gifts or philosophy or whatever it is, just kind of unlock those little moments, and we'll see what happens. It's like an experiment to see like what does, like, because right now we're just having a conversation flying over, well, these trees got burnt down, but either way, like,
it's also hilarious what some people say up here. So funny. Actually, no, we are currently over where the Caldor fire was. No, not the Caldor. Why did I just mess? Caldor is Tahoe. What was this fire? It was the biggest fire in California history.
Are we almost to Quincy?
Oh my God, why am I blanking on the name of this? Yeah, Quincy's like over to the left.
So we're pretty close to Quincy. It's like north of Quincy. I forget which one this was called, but...
Oh my God, it was the biggest fire California history.
Yeah, crazy.
It's gonna bother me. I'm gonna come back. I cannot
We'll come
believe
back to that.
I'm actually blanking on this. But yeah, I just wanna inspire people. I want, through the guests I have, I want to inspire people to get out there. I want to inspire people to not live life in fear and try things that they've always wanted to. I want to inspire people to travel. Maybe inspire girls to get into aviation. I want to share light, stories, rituals. I really just want to spread love. I want to share the stoke. I want to share full sendness.
Yeah,
You
everybody's
know?
going to be different, honestly. Everybody's going to be different who's going to be sitting in here.
Yeah.
Questions for Michelle Parker will be different than Aaron Blatt or JT or Meg or Kelsey or Connery. But I think the goal is, at least for me, the why is just how can we create authentic conversations that you don't normally have? Like when someone does a podcast, it's about their career. There's whatever, however they can get the most out of that conversation. They're going to try and do that, and that's amazing. But we're hoping to incite maybe even something they didn't know or thought about themselves through some of these questions.
Yeah, we want to talk about real life.
Yeah.
Things that really matter. We want to know people's insights, and I think the biggest thing too, Ben, is I just we're gonna have people you've never heard of, and we might have really famous people that everyone knows. And I also just want to share, you said this, but the authenticity of who they are, aside from social media, their profession. We really want to know people and their characters, so you guys can know truly who they are and the hardships that they've been through that you probably would never even know.
Yeah.
And how they became successful, maybe how they found happiness, maybe how they're searching for happiness.
Yeah, I'm ready to just add some more mentors and some more teammates to my roster of authentic people, and truly, ultimately, if you hear it a lot, heal yourself to heal the world. Focus on yourself, figure out what you need to be the best version of yourself, and show up for yourself every day. And in turn, you'll have the energy and be able to, heal the world that way. You don't have to take on any big thing. But on the other side of that is sharing your process in the now, now, today, in the last week, in the last month, during COVID, all those things, allowing for those conversations to open up. What is a professional athlete or whoever else might be in this cockpit? What has been some of their rituals, like you said, the tools that they use to find, what makes them more present, happy, strong, healthy, all those things. It changes. There's no such thing as the ultimate happiness or enlightenment. I mean, obviously there is, but given the times that we're in, it's just changing all the time, and the different tools that people need to apply to themselves, you just never know what people are going through. And I really just hope to open that up with our guests and allow themselves to share
Absolutely.
share something special that they want to share with the world. Who knows what will unlock in this plane.
So that was why, in a very long couple of paragraphs.
Yeah. Okay, cool. So, Jen, maybe we should just get into the questions, huh?
Yeah, I think, let's get into the questions.
Yeah, so that's the podcast, guys. That's our goal. And, so Jen, what inspires you the most? Actually, let's just start from here. Our goal is to do 10 questions with Jen and Ben in a plane. They might be more than 10. They might be less. But after we talk to our guests, we are thinking about utilizing this as a tool to ask 10 specific questions to our guests in this plane. And I have more than 10 questions for Jen, but either way, here it goes. Jen,
oh boy, bring it on.
What inspires you the most about starting an in-plane podcast?
First of all, I want you guys to know how hard it is to fly, listen, look, think, and give you guys real answers. So if I pause for a second, or if something completely ridiculous comes out, give me a break.
That is why.
All right. So what inspires me most? Wow, that's a great question. I don't think there's one thing or another that inspires me the most. I think I'm just really excited to see who it changes and how it changes. Because I mean, like the podcast guests we've already had, like every single person has been like, and I say this with a humble, grounded heart. Like they're like, that was the most fun day ever. Like I forgot about my life for the whole entire day.
Yeah,
I
straight
felt
up.
so good talking about life. Like I felt inspired, and like several people left and were talking about getting their pilot's license
Yeah, absolutely.
or getting into backcountry skiing or whatever. So I think I'm most excited to see who it'll reach and why.
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, like, you're inspiring me to want to get my pilot's license. You're inspiring me to
The best.
ask myself. Yeah, Jen's already asking me big questions, like, what do you want? Who are you, Ben? What do you want out of this life? What's your purpose here, Ben? I'm like, wow, that's the first question. Dang, Jen, that's kind of deep. She's like, yeah, 10 questions with Jen and Ben playing.
I know.
So yeah, that's like what Jen's already doing for me, which is great. We're just on a path. We're on a journey to enlightenment somehow through this plane.
To the moon.
Yeah, shout out like Buddha, all the.
Trying. Heck yeah.
So yeah, question 2.
Hit me.
How do you think an aviation-fueled adventure will inspire our guests?
I think this kind of ties into the other one, so I don't mean to repeat myself, but I think because it's new, I think it'll inspire people. I think kind of what Claire said the other day, it's a new perspective, right? We're kind of giving people a different look at the world, like
Literally.
visually, literally. Yeah, and so I think it's just going to be a different way for people to connect. So I think that's why the In-Plane podcast is different, and I hope that's how it'll inspire people in return.
Getting people fired up in a plane and asking some deep questions.
Yeah, and I think like the fact that we're going to do adventures and do cool things, I think will help loosen people up. So I think a lot of things will be said and talked about in this plane that would probably never be talked about if we were just like sitting in a office space at a desk with like really bright fluorescent lights
100%.
with like the cold air conditioning.
Oh, God, look at what we're looking at right
I
now.
know, it's so pretty.
This is, yeah, we're going to show you guys the 360
The
footage
Dixie
right now.
is the Dixie Fire.
Yeah, there it is, the
It's
Dixie
Dixie
Fire.
Fire.
Very nice.
I'm so sorry for forgetting that. Also, shout out to every firefighter who was on that fire, and everyone who protected our area because that was insane.
Wildland Fire Crew. Okay, cool. I kind of want to go into like a little backstory real quick.
Yeah.
What is a CFI, and what does a typical work week look like for you, full send pilot Jen?
Okay, so CFI is a certified flight instructor. I basically get paid to babysit. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah, so I'm a certified flight instructor. I'm actually a CFII, so I help people get their pilot's license. I teach them how to fly. I can help people get their private, instrument, commercial, tail wheel, acro, all that in between. So I teach about 20 to 40 hours a week. So I'm in a plane pretty much 5 to 7 days a week.
Every time I text Jen, she's in a plane.
Flying, yeah. And all my students are at different like stages. I have 10 students right now. I think I have 3 girl students, and then the rest are boys, ages 16 to 73.
So Jen's a mentor. That's why this works as well. She's already a mentor to the youth.
I'm a therapist in the air. I'm a very expensive therapist. But anyways, that's what I do, and it's like honestly the coolest job ever. It is really hard. I don't think people understand that. Besides flying, it's a lot of scheduling, pre-flighting, doing the plane, putting the plane away,
Deja vu.
figuring out weather, flight planning.
Yep.
For everyone who knows.
There's a lot of work in pre-production that goes into this, and just years and years and years of expertise. Jen she's a pro. Okay, so I kind of want to know, like, what led to you becoming a pilot?
Honestly, like nothing that crazy of a story. Just my dad was always a pilot. My grandpa was always a pilot, so I grew up in the back of this plane. Actually, my dad's had this plane my whole life.
So cool.
Super funny. And so I just always grew up in planes and around planes. My dad is really big with the Reno air races, so I always went to the Reno air races with him. And my whole life he's like, get your license. And I was in high school, and I thought partying and boys were way cooler than airplanes.
Fair enough.
And so I like took a couple lessons, and I was like, yeah. But yeah, then I got older and realized it was the coolest thing in the world. And then I got my private and was like, holy shit, I can make money doing this. Actually, my instructor, I remember, Dane Meyerhoff, shout out to you, I love you so much. My instructor was like 4 years younger than me. And one day he looks at me and goes, Jenna, you know you can make like a really good living doing this. And I was like, really? I had no idea.
That's so cool. So it was him.
He
He
goes,
really
you should
inspired
do
you.
it. Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, that's amazing.
You did, Dane.
Yeah, I didn't know that.
And Dane
Oh,
says
man.
I was his favorite student, but definitely not his best.
Definitely. That's good. You got to keep him humble, you know?
Because no, I was a pain. I didn't study. I didn't know it was gonna be my career, so I yeah.
Just flying by the seat of her pants in the plane. Okay, so Jen, you do a lot of activities, which is my favorite part about you, all your friends, all of our friends up here. Shout out the Reno Tahoe community. You guys are all amazing. You do a lot of activities outside, from skydiving to scuba. What are your 5 favorite activities in life?
So my Australian friend Josh, oh my god, he's gonna kill me. He's New Zealand. He's from New Zealand. He's a Kiwi. Why did I say Australian? Sorry, Josh. When I visited him, he said, Jenna, you're an activity whore. And I was like, I've never heard that.
Fair enough.
But, like I said before, I like doing a bunch of different sports. I'm definitely not a pro. Call myself like a 75%er.
That's great. Those are good. That's a high percentage.
But I don't even know if I get myself that high. But, yeah, I love to scuba dive, free dive. I have my skydiving license. What else do we like to do, Ben? Mountain bike, ski, backcountry ski, water ski, all the ski things.
Ride motorcycles.
I love to dirt bike. I don't have a dirt bike right now. Surf. How could I forget about surfing?
She does all the things. She loves all the things.
I know, and I want to do base jumping, and I want to try kiteboarding, but I don't have time.
We'll probably do an adventure podcast about that.
Yeah, we should. I think that was all of them.
So I want to know, Jen, so a lot of this, we're going to try and ask some questions to our guests that truly we want to know, like, what their road to happiness has been, whether they're happy or not right now, any of those things. And I just kind of want to know, like, where is Jen right now in life in regards to being happy, strong, and healthy? Shout out Wim Hof.
Shout out Wim Hof. That's so funny. It's so funny how easy it is to ask questions, and then when they get flipped, you're like,
oh, wow.
Oh, shit.
Where am I at?
Where am I at? Wow, that's a really good question, Ben. So I'm 27. If you asked me, I would even say a year ago, I would say I'm super lost. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm having a quarter life crisis.
Real.
Yeah, but I've really tried to do a lot of soul searching. I've tried to meditate every day. I've tried to travel. I've tried to keep myself outside. I've asked people questions. I really think that the best thing you could do is ask questions and listen and learn, instead of talking, because I think I used to talk too much. And I don't know, I really just feel so happy. And I really feel like I'm on my life path, and that's not to say that I don't have awful days, and that's not to say that I don't feel sadness. But I feel like I finally found my purpose in flying.
Love it.
And I feel like God wants us to be doing this podcast. And I don't think I would ever know that if I didn't quiet my mind like I have, you know? I kind of stopped partying as much. And I'm really just trying to listen to the universe, and I just feel like it's just bringing us these amazing people, and
Straight up.
I feel like I'm starting to dig deep. So I don't think it's perfect, but I think I'm on the right path, which is great.
Everybody needs teammates, you know. At the end of the day, like, we have built such a cool team already of friends sharing each other's friends. You can call it network or whatever, but every single one of Jen's friends, I am just like on the same page with, like Insta best friends. It's amazing. And I feel like they're on my team already and vice versa. And it's been like, even just starting this has already been worth every minute.
Absolutely.
And so that was a great answer, Jen. And I want to know, so what are some tools, which you actually just went through right now, but what are some tools, rituals, habits that Full Send Jen has incorporated into her life to allow for happiness, strength, and a healthy lifestyle?
Whiskey. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, that's kind of true.
But like off the top of my head, meditation changed my life. I try to listen to something inspirational, like a book or a podcast every single day, every single morning. I think traveling and being an adventurer is huge. Believing in a higher power, God, universe.
Faith, not fear.
Faith,
Shout out,
huge.
Sophie.
Yes. Faith, not fear, is one of the biggest. Working out, moving your body, being outside, cold showers.
Yeah, Wim Hof, baby.
Breathing. And you know, I feel like that's stuff that a lot of people know. So I mean, on top of that, like just getting a good routine and the small habits. But above anything, I think is to have fun. Have a fucking good life. Enjoy it. Laugh. Go outside. If someone invites you to boat, go boat. Like, do
All that
things
stoke
that
meter.
scare you and just have fun. And I think when you have a good ritual and you do all those things in the morning to make you feel healthy, because I really do think health is wealth, I think you can get out there and do things that make you feel alive better.
I mean, you'd think a lot of people would know that, but truly, I know not a lot of people have a really good ritual in the morning to talk to themselves. Like, if you don't journal, try journaling. If you don't, you know, a lot of really organized, successful people plan their day like the night before when they go to bed. It's a part of their nightly ritual of winding down and all those things. And then
100%.
they incorporate different tools, which would be so cool to, like, I don't know how we do it here, but I'd love to know what Sherry McConkey's rituals are, JT Holmes' rituals, Connery and Kelsey, you know. We didn't even get super deep into Sophie's, but like, how cool would that be? Is like
super cool.
You know, documenting that and like sharing that so people know, like, oh wow, that's such a good idea. Because
that's another huge one though is scheduling. I know you should live in the moment, but like
it helps so much.
Scheduling helps so much, and being organized and clean.
Yeah, that was a great answer. Good work.
Absolutely.
So my next question is, this is kind of diverting a little bit. Actually, no. What's your favorite way to make other people happy?
I like to make. Oh, here I can bring in my Wim Hof quote. This is okay. So I'm reading Wim Hof's book, which is amazing. He says that making people feel better is a real purpose of life. Bettering humans. I just think that's such a cool little quote. It's like, to make people happy is the greatest thing in the world. I don't know how I make people feel happy. I don't know. But if I do, I think that's awesome. And I think that's the meaning of life. And I think I like to play pranks on people, so
that's how she likes to make people happy.
Making them laugh, I think, and fucking with us.
Yeah, you're a jokester. You're a prankster, and it's hilarious.
Plane drop.
Hey-oo, plane drop. Yeah, that's great. And that's actually what I really love about Jen opening up this in-plane podcast is asking myself questions, asking each other questions, and having to give a real answer. Like, great self-awareness in the moment. It all can change, all those things, but asking yourself that question and having to know the actual answer, that is self-awareness. When you actually know the answer to the questions about yourself, like, people don't really see it that way. It's like, if you have a list of 20 questions and you're stumped on any of them, it's going to help you so much on your journey to really know yourself. Like, really actually know that question. Oh, yeah, this is how I make people happy. And yeah, that's a part of the work. It doesn't have to be like strenuous. It can be answering questions about yourself.
And also getting like something adding on to Ben. It's okay if you don't know the answer. You don't have to know the answer. And if you don't, you could just. My best advice too is just to be quiet. There's so much noise and sensory overload. To just be quiet and listen to yourself. Like quiet is good, and also get off social media.
Yeah, ain't that the truth? Lockout time.
So not good. If you spend an hour a day on social media and you get off it, it's amazing what you can do with that hour.
Yeah, I was doing that for a little bit actually, but I need to get on that again. My buddy Luca Starmer, he
love him.
Like either turns off his Instagram completely, like he deletes it, but I think he also has an app, if I remember correctly, that can turn off all your social and it turns it back on at a certain time. So that's when you post, comment, reply to messages, and you kind of let your friends know too, like, hey, hit me up on iMessage, like text message or WhatsApp, or whatever. Like I'm not on social, but yeah.
And also another thing I want to say about social media while we're talking, is that Ben and I are gonna try and promote this because we're a business on social media. But everyone who's listening, I want you to know, that I do think social media is a good tool if used right. But I do, if I didn't have to do it for my business right now, I would not be on it.
Yeah.
And so eventually we want to get to the point where we aren't on it because I just think it's fake and not healthy for people. And so when I post, we're posting for business.
Yeah, we're just trying to let you guys know what we're up to.
And I really want to be on it if I didn't have to.
Shout out Liam. Well, this is actually a perfect segue. What's the ideal outcome for the In-Plane podcast, Jen?
Ooh. Ideal outcome. I would say the ideal outcome. I mean, we could just change one person's life, right? That's awesome. You just make one person stoked or one person get their pilot's license and change their life. I mean, like, I don't know.
And one trick of the trade or something, you know, like
yeah.
That's a great goal. Let us know if any of this is helping you guys.
Yeah, I don't know. What do you think for that?
So mine's more like business oriented and less.
That's why we have the business guy.
Basically,
because if it were up to me, we would be negative money.
We don't even need money.
I'm like, we don't need money.
So the ideal outcome for the In-Plane Adventure podcast for me, honestly, it'd be something like kind of a Netflix deal or a Red Bull, where we get to do like choose 20 guests, and throughout the year really take the time to plan a full send adventure. So like we take Wim Hof on a full send adventure in the plane with the goal of him being inspired to do whatever he wants to do. What's a message that he wants to share with the world? We have me on production. I can shoot and edit any professional photo and video production that we need to get done and tell the story however we need to tell the story. God, that's so beautiful.
That's Mount Shasta.
And ultimately, yeah, if we could choose like 20 amazing guests and really tell the story in a 5 or 10 minute long video, you know, take my skill set from National Geographic Life Below Zero, you know, learning how to create an Emmy Award winning TV show with Brad Carper and Danny and Jason and all those guys. I'd love to be able to apply that to this.
Yeah.
And so
I agree. That'd be dope.
I think because I want to know authentically where Wim Hof is at right now, where Joe Dispenza is at right now, Stephen Kotler, Sherry McConkey, JT, Dell, Dan Abrams, Philo. Literally, like, Dan is the chillest. He has the best lifestyle of anyone I've ever met. And he raises a family, runs a business. Like, that's what Tahoe City, like, rad dad life is to me. And I just want to give them an opportunity. Send them in vacay mode. What's Wim Hof like in vacay mode?
Yeah.
You know, what's he like when he's, like, in that, like, adventure? I'm on an adventure. This is amazing. Like, that's my dream. That's my ideal outcome for the In-Plane podcast, and change as many people's lives as we can. Moonshot would be to change 1 million people's lives to this podcast.
Love that. See, that's why Ben and I balance each other out.
Yeah. I think a little too big, but actually that's not true.
That's
I can
good.
think bigger.
I feel the same way, yeah. I would love All that.
Okay, so that was a lot of really good questions. I want to know who, if you could have any 3 guests on the plane, who would they be and why? Shout out Oprah Winfrey.
Oh shit!
Shout out Milk Boys.
That'd be so dope. I would love to have Oprah Winfrey.
Shout out Joe Rogan.
Oh my, Joe Rogan! Oh my god, I'm gonna list a bunch right now. Okay, ready?
Okay.
Oprah Winfrey.
Yep.
I'm not gonna say the Milk Boys.
Yeah, that was
But
a
no,
joke.
I'm just kidding. Oh my gosh, Bear Grylls.
Oh yeah.
Joe Rogan.
Yep.
Will Ferrell.
Oh, duh.
Oh my god, like the Dalai Lama, Desmond Tutu, Jensen Churro, all these inspirational badasses. God, who else? There's so many cool people. Oh my gosh.
So many.
Like a ton of Red Bull athletes. Like I'd love to have Kelly Slater. You know, I'm like getting overwhelmed with all the people I can think of. We want Michelle Parker. Who else?
You want me to name off some?
Name all them.
So I kind of want Barack Obama in
I was
here.
thinking Obama.
I really want Bernie Sanders.
No,
Really
we're
cool
not. No, we're not going to do anyone political.
Oh, maybe not political.
Actually, it'd be dope to have all of those people, but
I mean, it'd just be cool, you know, to take them. I mean, when does anyone seen Obama go on an adventure? Maybe he has.
we would
But it's
like
like
Ivy Miller.
Ivy.
Yes.
I kind of want some Bitcoin, like some blockchain pioneers in here.
Yeah, Ben likes to talk about that stuff.
Yeah, Ralph Hall and
I'm not
Brock
good at that
Pierce
stuff.
and all that. It'd be hard because
Elon Musk.
once I get Jen educated on the blockchain and the influence that's going to have on our future, then we'll see if she wants some blockchain billionaires in here.
How high I am. It's kind of dark.
Wow,
we're
we're
currently
high.
flying over Shasta.
We are flying over Mount Shasta. I can see the aliens.
Yeah, it's dope.
Dang, we are out for a
But
rip.
really, though, like, I list all those people because I love them, but I could care less if you're famous, who you know, who you are, what you've done. I just want real and awesome people who've done, like, badass shit to share that with the world.
Yeah.
But I did just think of, have you heard of Sky Brown?
No.
She's, like, 10 or 12 years old, and she's a professional skateboarder. And she's the coolest person I've ever seen.
Oh my gosh, that's amazing.
She skateboards, and she's so little. Anyways.
Oh, the little tiny skateboarder babe.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Tony Hawk.
Oh, man.
Oh my god, I
Duh,
love
Tony Hawk.
to have Tony Hawk.
Yeah, wow. He's got some advice, huh?
Marissa Moore.
I don't know her. Dude, this is great. We're going to learn about cool people, so many things through this.
Yeah.
Perfect. That was a great answer, Jen. I do think this podcast has the opportunity to inspire young women because I do think that's a huge focus and something we can focus on. Jen is inspiring women to become pilots, athletes, and, you know, sharing her lifestyle with them, which is absolutely and we want to inspire young women, you know? We want to inspire everybody, but it's pretty cool that Jen is a pilot and sharing her gift with. How many women have you turned into pilots, got them their pilot's license?
That's it. First of all, women make up 6 to 7% of the workforce in aviation.
No way.
That number might be changing, but yeah.
Wow.
It's crazy, right? It's super low. And it's like when I tell people that I'm a pilot, they're like, "What?" And it's fine. It's actually hilarious, and I love it. But I mean, it's women, especially my age, are just not stereotypical pilots. So I would like to change that because I think women are amazing multitaskers. And flying
agreed.
is being a professional multitasker. Oh, also we want Trent Palmer on here. We need some
shout out
aviation
Trent.
guys. And Tom Cruise.
Yeah, obviously, Top Gun.
Because Top Gun 2 is coming out. But I have had several girl students, and I've had 3 girls solo, but I haven't had a girl get their license yet.
Okay.
So I would love to help more girls get into it.
Cool.
Because I think aviation's life-changing.
Yeah, Jen. Okay, cool. Yeah, so I kind of want to know, what would you tell young women looking to get into aviation and action sports?
Just do it. Fucking send it.
Yeah, just
Don't
do it.
let anything hold you back. Just go for it and have a full heart, and your light will shine through. And I think you'll be surprised. I think a lot of people are going to be stoked that you're doing it, and so many people will help you along the way.
Trust your instincts. Faith, not fear.
Send it, baby. Sky's the limit. Honest to God. Right past Mount Shasta. It's awesome.
Let's rethink how we phrase that question.
I think life is funny, and I think that as much as I can say what my purpose is, I don't think that I know.
Yeah, fair enough.
And I think it's always changing. I'm sure as soon as I have kids, maybe then my purpose will be my kids.
I hear that.
But I will say this, and I will never be sorry for it, but I think the biggest part of life is realizing there's a beautiful God, and there's God inside of all of us, and there's light inside of all of us. And I think the biggest, most important part of life is sharing that light with each other and sharing unconditional love.
Find that heart operation frequency, baby. That's what's up.
I really do, and I think the closer we connect to God, the more we connect to each other and connect to everything around us. And I think God is awesome, and I think He has a sense of humor, and I think He wants us to fucking pedal to the metal and enjoy the absolute crap out of it and see every part of this earth and try everything and talk to everyone and just enjoy it. Life is so freaking awesome. I can't believe more people don't. I just want more people to wake up and be thrilled about life.
Agreed.
To be, what does he say? Wim Hof says, "Born to be wild, strong, and happy."
That's what's up. I love it. So Jen's purpose right now is to figure out what her purpose is every day and recalibrate and ask herself every day and then show up. Like, we're just here to show up.
And I just realized, Ben, you actually just helped me. I think my purpose right now in life is to help other people figure out their purpose in life, and in turn help other people figure out their purpose in life. And then Wim Hof also says his purpose is making people feel better.
So good.
So we want better humans to be better humans. And so, like, I also think part of my purpose right now is, like, just to make people be happy and laugh and have fun, even if it's just for a day, you know, and hopefully, like, share that with someone else.
Humans bettering humans. That is such a good way to put it. That could be your purpose. We're in this, like, weird state, this, like, masculine, controlled mindset.
Yeah.
You know, the Industrial Revolution, that's how school was, that's what school curriculum was created for, was to create a workforce. And that's why education right now is being rethought and restructured, and new systems are being designed and implemented. It's a really slow process. Turns out it's really slow to shift into a new paradigm of education and every other survival system. But, you know, as of right now, it's okay to be on a mission to figure out what your purpose is every day, recalibrate every day, ask yourself the big questions. And, you know, we're not really meant to work every day. And I think we forget that. It's like, you don't work every day, you don't do something every single day. And it's like, whoa, man, if you believe in, like, your DNA holding everybody in your family's past, and that then in and of itself inherently being in you, that's a whole process.
Yeah.
Past life regression, all those things. I'm not well versed in it, but I absolutely believe that that is a part of Bruce Lipton, epigenetics, all that. Check it out if you haven't. There's a lot of work to do there, and it's okay if that's what your life is spent doing.
Yeah.
But that being said, when you do find out those things and you share them, you are going to help the world evolve and ultimately obtain, and retain a higher frequency, operating frequency, which is real. I don't mean to be talking all the spiritual frequency talk, but that is real. Shout out HeartMath. You can operate at a higher frequency.
Yeah.
Straight up. And the world is operating at a lower frequency. studied, proven. Shout out Joe Dispenza and all the work everybody's doing out there in the study of consciousness.
I think right now too, Ben and I are. I'm so young. I really want to learn from people, and I think it is so powerful learning from other people's lives. You know?
Agreed. Simple as that.
Yeah. So I bet my answer will be different tomorrow. I bet it'll be different in a month.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it'll be different.
Do you have any other
Good
questions?
answer. That was great. I think that's all my questions.
Really?
Okay.
Also, I just realized we're super far away, but I was like, we can't just not.
Yeah, we can't. We are here. I'm going to get a little clip of this.
But I want to ask your questions now.
Okay, here we go. Good God, this is so beautiful, Jen. This is so real.
Another thing is like I think we want to help. Really quick, that I want to add is that I do believe in different parts of religion. I disagree with different parts of religion. I believe and think spiritually here and there, and I think there's a little bit from each to be said. So I don't want people to discredit when I say like Jesus or God. Like Sophie was saying, it's whatever is your higher power, what you believe in. That's what I believe in, and I don't want to persuade you. But I just don't want people who have a bad taste in their mouth about religion to discredit any of this. I think the more open you are to all this, I think that's when true learning happens.
Agreed.
So just be open and give it a shot. Nothing bad's gonna come out of it. But
ascension tools, that's all they are. That's all religion is trying to teach us, is what everyone's learned in the past and how to apply it to yourself.
And I think even if you don't like religion, I don't think you should discredit God as a whole or believing in anything as a whole.
Yeah, no
There's
way.
absolutely something out there. I think that's the realest thing in the world. But anyways.
100%.
Oh, it's my disclaimer.
Disclaimer.
Okay, Ben.
I love it. Good work, Jen. That was like beyond what I had expected. Good. This is your co-host, co-captain speaking. We are currently flying above Mount Shasta, the prettiest sunset of all time. Jen just asked me how I'm doing. I'm doing great.
We'd like to take this intermission.
We'd like to take this intermission to blow our own minds and just soak in Mount Shasta.
Holy shit balls.
Holy guacamole town. Gotta be joking my ass.
Wow.
Oh my God, look at that.
You guys don't want to look at us. Look at this.
Yeah, show them.
And this is what it's all about, guys.
But you just look at it.
And sometimes I think this podcast, you guys won't remember what we say, but I hope you guys remember how it makes you feel. And I hope it makes you feel good. Or it makes you laugh, even if I say something really stupid.
That's my video.
So that's how babies are made.
3, 2, 1. Alright, so now we are back. We just got a banger. An ultra banger. We just did so good.
So
good. Cool. So we're back in the podcast land now.
Yes.
And Jen's gonna ask me some questions while we rock this sunset. This is so
Ben,
surreal.
how are you doing?
I'm
How
good.
are you in life?
I'm good. I'm great. What a crazy year. What a crazy couple of years. 3 years. I'm good though. This is amazing. Super grateful for the opportunity to learn about myself and other people in this podcast with you. Yeah, life's crazy right now. We're on the same page. We're asking ourselves big questions every day and trying to update our rituals and our tools to figure out what makes us happy, strong, and healthy in the now. Quarter life crisis is real. Shout out everyone going through that right now. If you've got life figured out, shout out you. Being in your flow, you're in your flow. We need as many of you around us. When I'm in my flow, hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
That's what's up. And yeah, just trying to find that flow state. Shout out Stephen Kotler. That's my long answer to that. I'm good, but I'm on a crusade right now. A crusade within to really be able to answer that question like you answered so well. Like, who am I? What's my purpose in life? All those big things.
I'm gonna move this.
Well, ultimately, I'm very happy, and I want to share my happiness with people.
Aw,
I love
good.
people.
Yeah, and I don't think there's anything wrong with saying that you're happy. I think that's kind of like a weird thing right now in society too. Look it, if you're happy, rock it.
Yeah, hey, hell yeah.
Awesome, Ben. That's so great. How I feel like everything we're doing like perfectly brings all your skills together, like your photography, your cinematography, your sweet outlook on life. Is there anything else you want to add on to how all your talents just magically?
I mean, honestly,
I'll
Jen,
work for
that's such
this.
a good question because truly, helping Jen produce, shoot, and edit this podcast does bring all of my skill sets and ultimately my ridiculous career path into one project. And you know, I started in college building snowboards. I helped manage a team of artists, production, sourcing, marketing, manufacturing. Learned a lot. Learning how to build a business and a brand and manufacture hard goods, make soft goods on top of that, and met a lot of cool people in the action sports industry through that. And then from there, got into custom fabrication, building the San Francisco Museum of Modern Art, meeting some pioneers in automation that truly changed my perception of what's possible on the planet. There's a set of tools on the planet. I call them survival system tools, and they need to be updated. And I learned from Dave Gropey, who is one of the leaders in robotics manufacturing and automation on the planet.
That's dope.
A lot about the current systems and where they're at in life. And long story short, this is a beautiful opportunity to take all the different people and walks in life that I've met and figure out a way to get them in this plane and inspire them and use my photography and videography skill set to do good, inspire people. Everybody wants to do something where they like impact people or the planet in a positive way, and this just seems like a really cool way to take all the ridiculous things that I've done so far in my life and see how we can bring them together into an adventure plane podcast.
I think photography and I just think images. People are so visual.
Yeah.
I think that your photography and videography is huge in inspiring people.
Yeah, definitely.
You can show them and make them feel,
Storytelling's
versus telling
huge,
them.
and being able to tell this story authentically and it being like inherent to how I operate. Like, I'm a reactionary shooter. I would consider myself an expert reactionary shooter, telling the story in the moment. It's called lifestyle photography and videography, but it's also called non-scripted reality shooting, the docu-style shooting. It's the docu-style of shooting.
It's like what we're doing, yeah.
National Geographic and Life Below Zero is structured, and that's what they win Emmys for in producing, shooting, and editing. They're the best at it in the world. And shout out Cheeseman and Danny Day. So yeah, this is an amazing opportunity to utilize all the different skill sets and people that I've met in my lifetime and crazy ideas that I have for the world and my creative skill set all in one.
No, absolutely. Alright, this is a shot in the dark. I'm like, you know what, we need to throw in some random ones that keep people on edge. What's the craziest shit you've ever done?
The craziest thing I've ever done? It was my birthday. Shout out Jamie Eddy, 2014. Crazy ass year.
I love how you automatically know.
Sorry, Molly Watson, about this. We flew a paramotor somewhere we shouldn't have. And let's just say a really important person was flying in on a Black Hawk. And mind you, this is 2014. This is before drones were big. And this is before paramotoring, which is a powered paraglider. So you have a paragliding wing, a canopy, 2 people, and you're flying tandem with someone. And let's just say that we went too high as well.
Oh, yeah.
and we had to drop. We had to descend very fast, and I basically almost fainted and almost puked. And we filmed it all, and I was holding a gimbal. And long story short, we, in order to make sure we were good, long story short, the craziest thing we did was evade some things. I'm not in jail, so that's good. And then maybe the second non-illegal craziest thing I've ever done. Man, I went to Alaska in like sub-zero temperatures and like slept in like negative 50 degrees tent.
Yeah, that's actually intense.
I don't know if that was. It was just crazy.
That's insane. That's so crazy.
Yeah. What else is the craziest thing I've ever done?
What's something you've done that has been so profound or so fun or so awesome that you're like, you know what? I think every person should try this before they die.
It's a great question. Man. In all honesty, it's super cliche, and a lot of people are back and forth on it. But if you want to be inspired by human potential, truly go to Burning Man.
Ooh, good.
Yeah, a lot of people are back and forth, like, oh, no, oh, real burners are this, or it's flooded with billionaires now, and blah blah blah. If you need inspiration in life and you want to feel human potential, if you have limited beliefs, if you think that you are not capable of accomplishing anything, and if you think you are not here to accomplish absolutely anything you can create with your brain, you need to go to Burning Man. Straight up.
Burning Man's.
And there's a lot of people creating absolutely surreal events, all these different things, but there's a magic that happens there that is inexplainable. And yeah, I hate that that's so cliche, but it is just very true because talk about inspiration, talk about what people are doing for the sake of art and creating a city and ultimately a new paradigm of culture while you're there, you know? A gift economy.
It's a full-blown city.
Yeah, so that's my answer.
It's crazy. It's so fun. 100%.
And breathwork, but other than that.
Oh, yeah, breathwork's great. Do it right in the morning when there's no food in your stomach.
Oh, baby.
Change your day.
Yeah, straight up. Change your life.
Okay, Ben. What's a full send life to? What would your full send day be?
Oh my
If
god,
we
that's
had
such a
the
good
plan-
question. Yeah, what would my full send day be?
I don't know. What would it be? You can do anything within a circumference of like
Alright,
200 miles.
cool. That's easy.
Maybe more. We could go farther. We could go 350.
Okay. Alright, my full send day would be to set up an outfitter in the Eastern Sierras of like 20 horses.
Ooh.
I want Charlie Parr and
Benton,
radio.
You're good. We're in a plane, right?
So my full send day would be I'd set up an outfitter in the Eastern Sierras. So I'd get like 10 or 20 horses, 4-pack mules. We'd fly out there. We'd land. What's the airport out there? Bishop? Bridgeport?
Bridgeport or Bishop or Mammoth. Yeah, Bridgeport's pretty dope though. That's the first one.
Depending on where the outfitter is, I'd go out there. We would make sure we'd have some snow to go find, so we could do some skiing and snowboarding, go hunt for some corn. But I'd want to bring, you know, 2 of my favorite musicians. But like, I mean this as like, this would be my full send day is what I would want to do.
Yeah.
I would bring like Charlie Parr and maybe Mandolin Orange, or yeah, I'd have to figure it out. But like 2 amazing bands, bring them out with us, and take the horses out and have our friends all meet us there. And
That'd be dope.
I think that'd be really fun. And we just bring some friends with us out to like maybe a lake or wherever there's snow, honestly. And we bring a band and we bring enough stuff to camp out. And we'd go camp out and hang. And then maybe do that for a night or 2 nights. And then come back, fly back, do a podcast on the way back, maybe with the band. And tell them, see how we inspired them. And then that'd be my full send day.
Dope. That's doable, Ben. I think we can do that.
I think we got that. I've also been hitting up outfitters, so.
Wait, I mean, what? You're like actually like I'm actively.
Been hitting them up for 2 years
Yeah.
and it's never lined up, but that's my full send day.
What for people who don't know what is full send mean to you? When people are like people have been like, what does full send gen mean? I'm like, oh wow, I've never defined it, but
Shout out 1, Jen. Shout out 2, Guy Erickson.
yeah.
He says if you're gonna do it, do it.
Love
And
that.
it's so simple and it's so true, and he lives by that. And I have to say, I choose to do things sometimes, and I'll end up doing them 50%, and a lot of that's part of my design. We can go into that sometime later, but I'm very fired up as a reflector. I reflect and bounce off what people are fired up on, and I'll give them my heart and my brain in the moment, and I'll give them 100%, and there's like gold in there.
Yeah.
And then when I leave, I'm like, oh man, wait, no, I'm down to do that, and then I'll tap in. And it's just like totally a part of who I am. I give people 100% when I'm with them.
You 100%.
Boom, my heart's pumping.
do,
Like,
yeah.
you want some of this energy? Let's go.
Yeah.
And then I leave, and I'm like, ooh.
Yeah, you're like, wait, I can't do that.
On to the next thing. And I'm just being
That's
real with you guys.
hilarious.
That's just like who I am.
I've noticed that.
Yeah. Yeah. No, it's like, because, and it's a part of the human design reflector thing. I'm not saying everybody should believe or not believe in it, but it's helped me a lot. Yeah, that's just like how I operate.
That's awesome.
And I give people that 100%. And yeah, so
It's hard to give everyone 100% all the time.
yeah, it is.
100%.
Fucking, you're welcome, everyone. Goddamn.
But it's so cool that you look at yourself and you can know that, because a lot of people don't even know why they operate and what they do. So the fact that you can look internally and know why you do what you do
Yeah, it's huge.
is huge. I mean, that's
Know what you don't know, and know what you do know, especially about yourself. Shout out self-awareness.
also, there's a saying that it says you can and you can't. Both of those statements are true. And I'm like, short, sweet, but it's so true, right?
Yep.
You if you don't want to do something, you won't. But if you think you can do it, fuck yeah, you can do it.
Yeah. And what was the question again? I started
That was
thinking about
good.
human
We
design.
were talking about full send.
Oh, what does full send mean to you?
Yes.
Okay, yeah, Guy, though, for real, if you're gonna do it 100%.
Yeah.
And that has to do with priorities, decision making, and that's so huge in life. And there's something that I'm learning right now, and I want to say it might be Joe Dispenza. I don't know. I'll find it and like put a link in here. But if you can prioritize your day and make your list of tasks, and then do not live in fear with your tasks. Just go and do them.
Charge them.
Especially if you're in freelance mode. Shout out freelancers out there. It can be hard when you're a year, 2 years, 6 months, whatever into it, and you make your task list. It can be daunting sometimes.
For sure.
And if you can find this meditative state to release, you can give that full send.
Yeah.
You can go like, I'm doing this 100%. And that's what full send is to me, like, for real. Like, if you're going to do something, do it 100% and then apply tools to allow for that in your life. Like, if you're going to crush some tasks a day, do that shit 100%.
Yeah.
Give it, like, your all.
Even
and then
if it's
watch
taking
it.
out the trash.
I mean, literally.
Skip to the trash can.
See what happens if you choose happiness. Yeah,
Absolutely.
for real. That's full send.
So I'm wondering, it's getting dark. Should we keep going?
If we have to do an ender, this is an ender here, guys.
What do you think? Do you feel good? What else? That was beautiful, Ben. I think the world knows who we are, why we're doing this.
Yeah, shout out world. That was good. That was a long podcast.
Yeah. That was the Unplanned Podcast.
And
what does Wimp say? Wimp says, I hope you have a happy day. I hope you have a happy life.
Happy day, happy life, or something like
Have
that.
a happy day and a happy life.
Yeah.
3, 2, 1.
See ya.